You know that voice in your head, the one that says, you're tired, you've done enough, or the all-time favorite, you'll start tomorrow. That voice isn't protecting you. It's not being realistic. It's the voice of fear, dressed up in logic. And here's the truth. That voice has been lying to you. It convinces you that your background defines your limits, that your pain is a full stop, not a comma, that being tired means being done. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, whose voice is that, really? Because here's the twist most of the time. It isn't even yours. It's your 7th grade teacher who told you you weren't leadership material. It's your uncle who laughed when you shared your dream. It's society whispering that success belongs to someone who looks, talks, or thinks differently than you do. And you believed it, but today, I want you to feel something deeper than belief. I want you to feel anger, not rage, but righteous anger. The kind that wakes you up and says, not anymore. So take a breath. Look at where you are. Not with regret, but with fire. Because once you admit the lie, you've already started rewriting the truth. You don't forget the day your whole life changes. For me, it wasn't a car crash or a medical emergency. It was something quiet or something invisible. It was an excuse. I was 23. I had a small window of opportunity to pitch an idea that could have changed my life. A startup accelerator, taking only 5 founders. I had the email typed out. All I needed was to press send. But I told myself, it's not ready yet then. You're not ready yet. And finally, you'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. 3 weeks later, I saw the same idea pitched by someone else. Same market, same pain point. They raised $2.5 million in seed funding. And just like that, what could have been mine now belonged to someone who didn't wait for perfect. That was the day I realized something terrifying. Excuses don't just delay your dreams. They sell them to someone else. People think rock bottom is when you lose everything. But for me, it was realizing I never even gave myself the chance to try. I didn't fail because I was incapable. I failed because I chose comfort over courage. I chose later over now. And that's the part that haunts you, not that you fell, but that you never jumped. Don't ever underestimate the price of an excuse. Sometimes it costs you your entire future. You ever say, I'm sorry I didn't make it, or sorry I missed your call? Most people think apologies are free, that you can just hand them out like candy and the world forgets what you didn't show up for. But let me be real with you, apologies come with a price. And the longer you wait to own your absence, the higher the interest. I once missed my brother's biggest moment, his graduation. Why? Because I said yes to a side gig that paid $80. I told myself, it's just one event. He'll understand. I even rehearsed the apology before I bailed. Sorry, man. I just had to take care of something. You get it, right? But when I showed up the next day and saw the look in his eyes, blank, distant, like the door I quietly closed, I realized something. He didn't want my words. He wanted me. That apology I gave, it didn't buy back the photo I'm not in. It didn't rewind the moment he looked for me in the crowd and found no one. And life does that. It doesn't throw your absence in your face, it just moves on without you. Quietly, permanently. Apologies might fix guilt, but they rarely heal wounds. Especially the ones caused by your silence when someone needed you loud. So next time you say I'm sorry, ask yourself, will those 2 words cost more than showing up ever would have? Because life collects interest on the things you said you'd do. And trust me, it always comes to collect. Let me tell you about a man named Eli. He didn't grow up with much, no rich parents, no shiny diploma, not even a stable roof some nights. Just a busted pickup truck, a pair of worn-out boots, and this fire in his chest he couldn't explain. Every job he applied to, they said, you need experience. Every time he tried something new, folks whispered, he won't last. Even his own family, at one point, said, maybe settle for less, Eli. But he didn't. He got up at 4 a.m. every day to walk to a job that paid minimum wage. Not because he liked it, because quitting would have been easier. And easy never built anything worth keeping. He studied books by streetlight. He practiced speeches in front of cracked mirrors. He smiled when he was ignored and cried only when no one was watching. Years passed. He saved what he could, learned what they said he wasn't smart enough to learn. And one day, he bought the place that once rejected his job application. The same building, same manager, only now Eli signed the paychecks. You see, courage doesn't make you loud. It doesn't come with applause or viral videos. It comes quietly, in the moments when everything says stop, and you still go on. So if today you feel like you've got nothing, no backup, no help, no proof that this will work, but something inside you still wants to try, you've already got the one thing most people spend their lives searching for. It's funny how panic dresses up like urgency. You miss one opportunity, your mind whispers, it's too late. You see others winning, your heart sinks. You're already behind. And just like that, fear convinces you that the clock's run out. But let me ask you this. Did your heart stop beating? Did the sun stop rising this morning? Did your legs give out? No? Then you're not out of time. You're just afraid. And fear is loud when you're close to something that matters. You see, we confuse being late with being lost. We think that because we didn't start young, we shouldn't start at all. That because others are ahead, we have no place on the road. But let me tell you the truth no one says out loud. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, because you're awake now. And some people go a lifetime half asleep. Do you know when most people start to change? Not when things are perfect, not when everything makes sense. They change when the fear of staying the same becomes louder than the fear of starting. You're not behind, you're not late, you're just scared. And that's a sign you're alive. Now take a breath, look at the road ahead, and understand this. Scared doesn't mean stop, it just means go. Anyway, there are only 3 kinds of people in this world, and the truth is you already know which one you are. First, there are the excusers. They always have a reason. Too tired, too old, too poor. They decorate their fear with logic and call it wisdom. But deep down, they know it's just avoidance. Second, there are the watchers. They sit in silence, scrolling through other people's success. They admire, clap, even envy, but they never move. They're paralyzed by the idea that failure might come knocking. Then, there's the third group, the doers. The ones who take the punch and still get up, who don't wait to feel ready. They act anyway. They don't ask, what if I fail? They ask, what if I never try? And no, they're not fearless. They're just unwilling to die wondering. Now look in the mirror. Be honest with yourself. Which one are you today? Not yesterday. Not who you hope to be. Who are you right now? Because until you answer that, you won't know what needs to change. Let's not sugarcoat it. You've wasted time, days, weeks, maybe years, telling yourself tomorrow, waiting for the right feeling, the right sign, the right opportunity. But while you were hesitating, life didn't pause. The clock didn't slow down to match your fear. It kept ticking, and so did your dreams, drifting further with each excuse. Here's the hardest truth to swallow. Nobody's coming to save you. No secret mentor. No perfect moment. No magic spark of motivation. What you have is now. And if you keep trading potential for procrastination, you'll wake up one day in a life you didn't choose, but absolutely created. So be honest. Haven't you already waited long enough? Because if not now, then when? There's a moment, not loud, not dramatic, no lightning, no applause, just clarity. It doesn't look like much from the outside, but inside, it's a fire. You stop blaming. You stop negotiating with your comfort zone. You stop handing out pieces of your life to fear. When you really decide, I mean truly. Finally. No more going back. You shift from being the passenger to the damn driver of your own life. The pain, still there. The doubt, still whispers. But now, you move anyway. You no longer need permission to chase what matters. You no longer wait for courage, you build it by walking through the fear. This decision, it's not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you to shrink. And once you taste that freedom, you'll wonder why you ever settled for anything less. So here's the truth most people avoid. Change doesn't come when things get easier. It comes when you get tired of living a life that isn't yours. Look, maybe this video shook something loose in you. Maybe for the first time in a long time, you saw yourself, not the version you've been pretending to be. The one underneath the fear. The one with unfinished dreams, buried under excuses. The truth, you don't need more time. You need a decision. And that decision, that moment of courage, can change everything. So don't let this video be just another piece of motivation you scroll past. Pause. Reflect. Act. Because your excuses won't be there to comfort you when you're 80, wondering where your fire went. And if this message hit home, share it with someone who's been stuck in the same loop. Leave a comment. What's the one thing you're committing to today? Not tomorrow, not next year. Now. And if you're new here, subscribe, because around here, we don't just talk about pain, failure, or regret. We talk about how to rise from it. This isn't a channel, it's a call to wake up, to fight back, to live like your story isn't over, because it isn't.